Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Through the Fire. I am your host, Ryan Wickline, and today we are joined by a very special guest. She is the author of Step Into Your Miracle, Miss Shannon Michelle. How you doing today, Shannon?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Yeah. Wonderful. Well, we'll share in that bliss.
Absolutely. So the number one question the audience is probably wondering, who is Shannon Michelle?
It's a good question. I am a survivor and a thriver. I went through a severe motorcycle accident, which put me in a coma for a few months and literally wiped my brain clean, like deleted everything. And I had to be physically rebooted and reborn. Like parts were broken. It was a big trauma to my brain and my body, and I had to slowly find myself again and again rebuild everything. Like I had to learn how to read again. I had to learn to walk, to talk, you name it. I was completely destroyed, and I found such strength within certain ways that I was able to rebuild and see myself again as the new person I had become. And that's kind of why I wanted to share my story with others about how to conquer all different types of trauma, honestly. Oh, and then I forget all the time. I post all of that breast cancer. Like there's a lot of things that we can go through, but we can find our way out if we give ourselves the patience to. And yeah, that's a bit of me.
Man, you gave us a lot to unpack there.
Sorry, yeah. And you talk about which part you want to or none of it. I'm an open book, and I just know that I have been gifted with knowing how to get over something that you don't even ever want to have happen. And I feel like that's a lot of people in their lives, and it's either helping somebody or helping yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about your motorcycle accident?
Sure. So I live in Los Angeles, and Sundays were my day that I would go for motorcycle rides with a large group and distant riding sometimes. And one day I was on my way home and to help somebody else through a trauma, honestly, they were going through, and I was on my route home, and I was hit illegally with somebody who did an illegal U-turn on Pacific Coast Highway. And from what I've been told, because with my brain trauma, it deleted a lot, but from what I've been told, I was thrown up in the air 30 plus feet and crashed back down. And they didn't think I was going to live because everything was like head first, broken, you name it. They popped me in a helicopter and drop shipped me into UCLA, where they kept me there for a few months. They kept me in a coma because of my brain trauma. And then they put all the parts and pieces back together. It's so wild to say this story. Sorry, it takes me a minute. And then I was brought home, and then I had to relearn everything and re-find a new person, honestly, post all of that. And that's, that was the accident. That was the first stage. Well, not even the first stage, but the major stage of literally being taken out of my existence and brought back in. And that part I do remember. And yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Even when I say it out loud, it's sometimes hard for me to, it's hard because I deal with a little memory issue still with the brain trauma. But I love sharing my story to remind myself, honestly, of everything I've been through and how much strength has come out of all of the chaos and the trauma,
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, what is it like? What was it like just waking up and not remembering anything?
Scary, scary, scary. it was frightening because I kept waking up, not knowing where I was, not knowing why I was where I was, what had happened. It was scary. But I had to wake up. And at some point, I had to realize that trying to remember who I used to be wasn't important. It wasn't as important as who I am today. And I had to find a way to wake up each moment of each day and and process and learn and grow from that moment to the next moment, not to the past and not to the future, but just literally the moment by moment basis. And that was the way I was able to survive, was just thriving off of, okay, today I'm looking out my window, that I'm looking at the birds being fed in the little feeder, or it's a rainy day or whatever it was just staying present in each moment and not trying to conquer the brokenness in a way, just conquer whatever I could do that day. Okay, I'm going to learn whatever I wanted to learn that day. And I would give myself a little hit list of how to get myself a little better. But ultimately, I just stayed present in each moment. And that's not an easy thing to do. I mean, is it easy for you? Like, I would think for everybody, staying present and not looking at the past or the future, just being right here in this moment right now it's difficult. It really is. Like, everybody stop right now and try to do that, because it seems like it's simple, but it's not, because our ability to think that we can do and fix comes into each moment of our lives. And it's hard to just stay right in this moment with you, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to put my little, see a little better.
Yeah, you hit on that right there, talking about staying in the moment. And like our brains have I know mine specifically has a tendency to wander and thinking about what more I can do, like, and especially future stuff. What can I do to build this life I want? So, what are some tips for the audience to learn how to stay in the moment?
Woof, that's a good one. It's a great question. I think each and every day, at least how I was able to do this, was I would try to stay focused on this moment. So right now you've asked me a question and I'm thinking how much I want to show people how to stay in this moment, including you. And all I can do for myself is say how much, like, my heart is important in my life. And I say to myself, what's important in this moment? Like, I'm thirsty for some water, is something as simple as that. Or how can I communicate the best way to not focus on themselves and not focus on what has happened or will happen? That's staying present. And I would just say, like, right now for you, how can you stay present with me in this moment?
I just focus on like what you're saying, and
Yeah.
kind of let it just play in my mind of what you're saying. It's just kind of,
And let it help you grow and learn, right? Like,
yeah.
I sit here every moment of my life and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Oh my gosh, I never knew that. And that's okay too. Giving yourself the freedom to not know, to not have an answer, to just, again, stay present is a hard thing to do. So that would be a goal. Like, that's a goal for me all the time. Don't worry about how to do something, Shannon. Just try to do it. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and
Yeah.
that's okay, you know? So that's staying present, for me in this moment with you,
It's definitely
So
a process.
it is, but it's empowering. I mean, if somebody can stop, and sometimes it's a simple word like stop worrying or trying to sort out things, that can give you such strength. And the only way sometimes to do that is not focus on what you're trying to do. And that is hard. It's hard. I Even when it comes out of my mouth, I'm like, okay, Shannon, stay present.
As your mind's probably trying to wander in different directions.
It does. And I think all of us have that ability to let things like scatter. And how do we come back to staying present instead of scattering is a part of that as well. Like, how can I stay here with you in this conversation and share my story, to empower others to stay present? I mean, that is to me my biggest goal in each and every moment is helping, excuse me, helping people find peace and joy within their chaos in a way, no matter what they're going through, no matter what's difficult. And again, sometimes you're holding the hand of somebody that's going through something difficult, or sometimes you're the person going through something difficult, but both things are hard. And it's like trying to teach yourself to just be in the moment instead of fixing the moment is so, at least for me, it's so encouraging that somebody is with me, to stay with me, to learn from me, that I can learn from. All of that comes from staying present, you know?
Yeah. Great tip. So you were diagnosed with breast cancer during this time. How did that
Yeah,
affect your mindset with everything else you were going through?
it was horrible. Well, no, this is the funny moment. I love to share this moment because it's not funny, but I think it's a funny reaction. When I got the phone call, Shannon, you've tested and blah, 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 and breast cancer, I started laughing. I thought if I was going to die, it would have happened, because everything I just went through. And at that point, I was a year and a half post my motorcycle accident. And I just laughed at them. And I remember, oh gosh, okay. Well, at first I have to tell my daughter, because, I reached out to her. Was in college at this point, and I called her to tell her, and she goes, "This is not funny, Mom. You need to stop focusing on your brain recovery and your body recovery, because they still needed to do more surgeries. You need to focus on the cancer." My daughter is telling me this, and I was like, and she's like, she said, "It's not funny. This is serious, and you have to refocus." And I'm like, holy, okay. And that again led me to layers of how we learn from our difficult times, and it was horrific, because I thought I wasn't going to die, and then all of a sudden it was really bad, and I had multiple surgeries and and then I don't know, chemo or radiation, because they couldn't even decide. Going through those steps scared everything out of me again, and I had to find my way back to joy and peace, and knowing that no matter what happens, I'm going to be okay in some way or another. Like, I'm not sure how, but I'm going to just keep being kind to myself. And that's going to help me get through this next step, this next moment. And it did. I mean, I'm now cancer free, and I live each day again, just being happy I'm alive and breathing today. And that is a great goal for you, to just appreciate being able to breathe, and whatever else it is that is in your life, walk, talk, whatever. I mean, it took me, again, you can have everything taken away. So know that your gift is your breath. That's a gift that I'm breathing here today. Having this beautiful conversation with you is my gift of today. And if all of us can come from a place of giving appreciation to who we are for breathing, just alone breathing is a lot.
Yeah. I love how you touched on that. You just kind of laughed at everything because you understood that you were being tested again. That
Mhm.
if you were supposed to die, the motorcycle accident would have taken you out. And I love that because not everybody has that type of faith and that type of like deep belief in themselves.
I I think I think a lot of people get distracted or confused with trying to care for others first, and then that gets in the way of their self-care. And the other thing that I learned through all of this was I was a giver and a doer. I had a company. I did interior design here in Los Angeles, super high end employees, you name it, and it was all taken away. And I knew how to give. I knew how to show up and make things look beautiful, make people look beautiful. I could bring joy to so many people in so many ways. And I kind of, oh, see, I got lost. I there was a point to that. Oh, coming back to my self-care, I knew how to give. I didn't know how to receive. I didn't know how to have people help me, care for me, teach me. I only knew how to show up for others. And I think the other big gift was learning how to receive help, because there was no other way. And I realized my self-care came first. And as soon as I could get myself better, I had more to give others. So sometimes we get mixed up with self-care coming first as being selfish, but it's not. It's like the bigger my heart and my body and my brain and my life was, the more I could give out. And there's a circle of that, and we can get lost in the helping others phase, when really first this comes first. And then once you fix this, you can have a lot to give.
Yeah, I love how you touched on that too, because I've had to learn that the hard way a couple times to myself. Of I had to work on myself and quit giving everything I had to everybody else and
Mm-hmm.
leaving myself with the bare minimum, because I wouldn't have the energy to,
Yes.
to fill everybody else's cup when mine was running low myself.
That's a great point. That's a great way to put it. Yes. And that's so true. I mean, it's like, we have to put words around it that match us, but even the way that you're saying it is like, fill your cup first and you have more to give others. But we easily can find a way to get lost in helping people, and that doesn't help anybody in the end, honestly. So you're finding your way as well, and we have to keep waking up to that. It's hard to get lost again. I've realized, for me, I get lost in trying to do too much and show up too much, or whatever it is. It's the old me, and I'm like, oh, nope, that's Shannon
Yeah.
Michelle 1.0. I have to do Shannon Michelle 2.0. And it's reminding yourself to stay present and to do your self-care, right? Because then you have leaps and bounds to share and give. It's a big circle of beautiful life.
Yeah. How were you able to turn all this pain that you went through into your purpose?
I had a moment where I woke up and I felt like I was being told to read. No, not to read. I was being told, it was like, finish your book over and over. And I woke up and I shook my head and I was like, I can't finish that book. I can't even read yet, was my response, because I was learning everything. And so I called my best friend and I said, oh my gosh, I don't know. I had this awakening that I'm supposed to finish my book, but I can't. And she said, well, have you looked in your phone, Shannon? And I said, well, yeah, I use it for everything now. And she's like, you need to look at your notes, because you've told a big story and you don't even realize it. And so that, coming from the spiritual side, and then my best friend human side, I knew I had something to share, and I had already started something that I hadn't realized that I had started. It was this book, Step Into Your Miracle, about how each of us need to take each day and step into our miracle, even on a hard day. Like, because I had plenty of hard days, and it's hard to wake up and find pain okay and understand being broken. And all of us in different ways get broken. Mine happened to be very physical and mental all at the same time, but each of us wake up not quite sure about next steps in our life. And that is, again, about seeing who you are first and foremost and how much you have to give. And
What advice would you give someone who was in their own fire in life and was feeling broken and defeated?
you're the only one that can you're the only one that can see yourself clearly. And again, finding a way to see yourself with strength, even with the trauma, even with the brokenness, or with the cancer, or with, it could be a divorce, it could be I mean, it could be anything. Like, wake up each day and see yourself, and almost see yourself new in each moment. Don't don't see yourself as the same person the next day. Don't wake up tomorrow, it'll feel the same, but you can wake up and look at it differently, see it differently, and that will bring you clarity. And again, kindness to yourself first and foremost. Even, it doesn't matter what the trauma is. It doesn't matter big or small. It just matters that you show up for yourself in a way that, and it might be something as simple as, I would start by writing down 3 words in this little notepad that expressed how I felt that day. And sometimes the words were not nice to myself, and sometimes they were. But I would have a place that I could write something down. And the writing the 3 words, I think, is empowering too. And it's kind of like anger, joy, light. It can be just simple words, and letting yourself release those words on paper allows you to kind of release the feeling in a way. So if you can even wake up each morning and write down 3 words, or go to bed at night, whatever, either way, but you do something that you're expressing what you're going through. And that helps you, again, see yourself, and it can help you wake up better the next day. And it doesn't happen again every day, but it happens little by little. Be patient with yourself. Whatever helps you be patient with yourself, do that. And for each of us, it's different. Don't count on everybody's phone calls and concerns. Count on yourself first, and the rest will come.
Yeah. What inspired you to write your book, Step Into Your Miracle?
Just to share that there's a way to get through trauma, and brain trauma, especially because traumatic brain injuries are so severe. And whether you're helping somebody through a traumatic brain injury or a broken body, or you are physically the one that's on the rebooting phase, the goal is to help others. The only goal I have in each day is to help others. And I'm not sure how that works the best, but I thought by sharing how I got out of all that trauma, it could help others see themselves a little clearer, or give them a little hope and roadmap to seeing themselves differently. And
Yeah.
that's what the book is about.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, a lot of times people need to see that it can be done,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it gives them a little bit more confidence.
Gives them hope, gives them
Yeah.
inspiration. That's my goal, is like, you've got this. I remember continually having to give myself hope and say, it's okay, Shannon. Yes, this is painful. You're learning. Yes, you were in a wheelchair and you're trying to walk again. And this is not comfortable. And you're going to try a little harder to get down those steps, whatever those moments are. And they can be so small. Like, give yourself small steps to start, whatever that is for you. It might be, again, I don't know. It could be making a cup of coffee. That can be a goal of a day. And then you get to, oh, I'm going to make tea tomorrow, or, oh, I'm going to make my daughter dinner next month, or whatever. And those are core basic things, but for me, I had to relearn them. And for you, find out what it is that you need to reboot, relearn, but make sure you stay present to you first. You first, and then
Yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah. What was probably the biggest challenge you'd say you faced while writing it?
Oh, many. I think the part that, and bear with me, I sometimes close my eyes because it's easier for me to think when I'm not focusing on other things. So bear with the closed eyes or closed eye. um, I would say that the hardest part was making sure that my voice was spoken through me in this. It was being it was being said in a way that I wanted to share it and speak it. And that was a hard part, is like, does that sound like what I meant? And trying to match words to how things felt was one of the hardest parts. Um, yeah, I'd say that was matching. It's again, this for that, matching the right word for that feeling. And again, with brain trauma, it got very messy, because sometimes I'd think one word and I'd say a different word, and I put it in my phone. So it was messy. It wasn't easy, but I think it's a beautiful book, and I think it's worth a peek, at least to look at my website and see if it interests you at all. And email me, ask me if you have any questions, if you need any help. My email's on my website, and I'm here to help in whatever way I can. And I'm not sure, so you tell me, tell me how I can help.
What do you hope your readers take away from your book?
I think, again, to stay present. I think to be kind to themselves and stay present. Those to me are the biggest goals I hope that people gain, is that there's so much that you can learn from and grow from if you can stay present and be kind to yourself. I hope that's the message that people get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even after writing a book, you decided to become a motivational speaker. What led you to decide to chase that path?
I think it's about, in a beautiful way, I'm surrounded by a lot of amazing friends and family members who have been so supportive of me through all this, including my daughter. And I knew that I do better when I am present and I'm sharing, because my limitation now is my short-term memory, and I'm working on it, and it's getting better. But my brain has limitations. It was broken in a way that the short-term memory it's very little how I can remember things. Like, I have to do certain things to remember a moment, a time, but I I know that when I'm here and I'm present and I'm speaking and I'm engaging, then that's the full me, and that's the full story. And what I remember I said doesn't really matter. And who I spoke to isn't a part of this, but it's about, again, being open and staying present. That is the new me. I mean, I had a very successful interior design firm that I'd owned for 25 years, and there is that part of me that wants to be able to show people the way to find themselves, and the speaking feels like a way that that works.
What probably would you say is the most rewarding part about doing it?
Mm. I think I think for me in my life now, is how I can give. And I volunteer my time. Like, I volunteer my time at UCLA. I volunteer my time at the VA, and I just do the things that I can do to, again, fill my life with helping others succeed in whatever they're trying to do. I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are some daily practices that we can do to help build resilience in our own life?
I'm going to go back, and I know it's a little bit of a circle, but I think again, it's whenever so I would say that even to today and each and every day, when I come across anything that is a windy road or a difficult thing, and I'm overthinking it or trying to solve it, I have to just remind myself to stay present. And I know that when I go through each day and I get distracted with how I can be or do, I say, nope, that's not staying present. That's trying to achieve, that's trying to look to the future. You've got to stay present. So just take this moment right now. You take this moment right now, can you, Ryan? and say 3 words that come to you. And it doesn't have to be, it can be whatever it is. I mean, just give me 3 words that come to you right in this moment.
Right, joy, leadership, and resilience.
Okay. So those are beautiful words. Those are you today in this moment. And that's how you need to see yourself. Joyful, resilient, and what was the 3rd word?
Leadership.
And a leader. So that's, again, try to do that self-care by reminding yourself that that's who you are in this moment, in this day, and use that strength for this moment to move you to the next moment, to the next person, to the next meal. Like, try to remember that that's who you are. And I think if people can do that, that can really bring a lot of people joy, and it can pull them out of chaos,
Yeah. How important is it to have a growth mindset in developing resilience?
Oh, growth mindset. I think if you can have a growth mindset, you can look at things as big picture, and you can kind of understand that who you are is big picture. It's looking out around you and being able to take in what you learn to grow from. And again, that can come into whatever type of success you're trying to achieve. For me today, it's sharing my story so other people help other people help other people. And I don't like that I keep using that word. It's a goal of mine. See, that's a goal of mine today, that I was trying to not use that word a bunch, and I used it a ton. It's that moment when you do something wrong and you have to laugh at yourself or give yourself a hug and be like, that's okay. I'm going to try it again tomorrow.
Yeah. Do you have any tips to help people to develop more of a growth mindset than a fixed one?
Again, it keeps coming back to staying present, because if you stay present, life is always adjusting and moving and changing. And if you really seen yourself in your life, you understand that each moment adjusts and change, and you don't know what is going to happen. You don't know what turn you're going to take. You don't know what you're going to say, and be okay with that. Be okay that you are the best you each and every time of each and every moment. And that gives you that not thinking in a linear place. You're kind of weaving in and out of life, taking the good and the bad, and understanding that you get growth from both. That's another very important thing, is that growth comes from the good and the bad. And when something bad is happening, understand that there's a lesson or a road or a guidance that you're being taught, and to keep your eyes open to what you're being taught in that moment. Don't take responsibility for it, but understand what you're supposed to learn from it. That 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 you're that you see yourself more clearly. And again, that's by staying present.
Yeah. I love that, like touching on like understanding that trials and sometimes suffering brings the
Mhm,
most growth, and looking at it as more of a lesson than,
mhm.
oh, why is this happening to me, is definitely growth mindset.
Yes. I mean, again, it's important. I mean, each of us, like in these human bodies, like we're all miracles. Like, understand that you're a miracle and I'm a miracle. We're all miracles. We're all here for a reason. We're all here touching each other and growing from each other and learning, growing, expressing, and also getting conquered by, all of it. We all are this for each other. And just be grateful that you were sitting here listening to this with us, because I feel grateful to sit here with you having this conversation. And I'm sure everybody else who sits and listens will be grateful to hear some inspirational moments, I'm hoping,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How important has gratitude played in your recovery and in your daily life?
Ooh, I live on it. I breathe on it. I am grateful in a way that I think it's sometimes hard to understand. My gratitude comes in a way that I know that I personally, we all have, I think, different words that we put around spirituality and growth and God. And there's all kinds of ways that you can describe how you've, at least there's all kinds of ways that I can describe how I've come back to this life for a reason. And I know that my gratitude is that my father figure, he had passed about 8 months before my accident. And I feel like he was there kind of calming me down in between, because I did not want to come back into this body, into this brokenness. And I didn't want to experience that part. And he was there pausing me and helping me understand that I still had a lot to experience and do and come back from, to help support my daughter. And I don't know, the gratitude comes from out of a very random place, that I was just, again, surrounded by love and light, and held in a way that I was able to find my way back.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. What
It's
are
hard.
your, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's hard though, sometimes explaining that, because we all have different belief systems that we've been taught, and the way that we have grown from the way that we've been taught. And even when I share that story, I know it's going to connect with certain people, and other people it's not. And I think if people can just look at it again as big picture, and being grateful for whatever it is that is a part of your life, that's important, even if it's difficult. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can tell you from personal experience, I do believe in God and that He saved you for a reason because He was not done with you yet.
Yeah.
What are your long term and short term goals?
Oh boy, I think my short-term goals are to be able to share my story so that people read my book and gain from it. That's a goal. I long term, I know that this is going to be a known story, and the long-term goals are that, I can just continue to help, whether it be a person through trauma or a person who helps again somebody through trauma, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help others, but help myself first. And each day, again, try to wake up, do your self-care first, and then go out and conquer the world. But start here in your heart. And as I always say, I start the morning taking care of my heart and my mind and my body. And if you can do that first, then go out into the world and explore and share and give and create anything that you feel is a part of who you are and what you want to give. And that comes from gratitude. I have so much given to me that I want to give back,
Yeah. How can
Yeah.
people get a hold of you?
I have they made me an amazing website. It's stepintoyourmiracle.com. And you can read more about my story and a little bit more about me and buy my book, please. And there's an email. Please email me with any questions, Shannon@stepintoyourmiracle.com. Yeah, that's how people can stay in touch and reach out, and I can be a part of hopefully of their healing if that's possible. I'd love to be a part of anybody's healing process.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there anything we haven't covered that you'd like to talk about?
I think we've covered it all. I always think of that post, and then I think, oh, I half the time forget the breast cancer part of the story, and I didn't. So it's kind of like in layers, right? You just go through
Yeah.
life in these layers. But I think we covered everything. So please, everybody, step into your own miracle today. Please, just whatever feels like a miracle to you. I hope that's what you find when you see this and or read my book. Yeah.
All right. Final question. What is one piece of
Okay.
advice you'd like to leave our listeners with about overcoming adversity?
Pause. Stay present, and you'll get there. Wherever it is that you're searching to be, you'll get there. Have faith in yourself.
Great advice. Well,
Thanks.
Shannon, I can't thank you enough for coming on here and sharing your story. It is true. Like you truly have a transformational story.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope it speaks to others. That's the goal. So thank you for having me on and letting me be a part of your story as well today, because I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, I appreciate you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well, guys, that's gonna be all the time we have here today. Remember, the only way to get what you want is go through the fire.